Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now, about a year ago, or just over a year ago, I did a video ranking all 25 routes in Croydon. Now, obviously that was quite a while ago now, and ever since then there are now 35 routes in Croydon. So I thought, let's do this video again, but in Croydon redefined standards. Now, obviously routes are going to have changed places. There are new routes that weren't in the list before, but some routes may stay in the same place. So we're going to rank them from worst to best, just like we did in the last video, but now including the new routes and also putting into account the any routes that have been extended. So I'm going to go at quite a pace, but give a reason or two for each of my rankings. So let's get straight into this. So, our first route, which is, in my opinion, the worst route in Croydon Bus Simulator, is the 405. Purely because it's just short, way too short, and because of that, it's extremely boring, and it doesn't really serve a purpose. It's like 4 stops long. So yeah. Next up is the SCS, or the Cycle Shuttle route. Pretty much the same as the 405. But this one's even worse. Maybe this should have been the worst route, but I've decided to put SCS because it's sort of... SCS has just got slightly more character than the 405, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's a bit of a stupid route, really. It's like 1 stop, and it pretty much just stays in the same area. So what's the point? Next up is the 412. The same story as the other two. It's just short and boring and practically identical to the 405. They just start at slightly different points in the town centre. Now, for our next 4 spots, I've put all the rail replacement routes, rail replacements 1, 2, 3, and 4, basically because they're all different routes, but for the same reason. They're all long, boring, and the gaps between all the stops in these routes are far too long, and it's just a bit of a waste of time, especially if you want to grind points. Moving on is the 433. It's another short, very short route, but it's slightly less boring than the other ones that I've mentioned. Next up is the 407, another pretty boring route, and has another route that's literally identical to it, which is the one next on this list, the 166. What was the point in adding the 166 to the game if it's exactly the same as the 407, or adding the 407 to the game if it's identical to the 166? There was no point. Just add one of them. Next up, we have the 194. I think this was put down as my worst route in the last video, but the 194 is slightly grown on me, but it is just the boring half of the 198. So just drive the 198. Next up, we have the number 50. It's basically just a straight line going from town to Thornton Heath. It's nothing too special, but it's not the worst. Next up, we have the 109. Again, another pretty much just a straight line route, and it is basically just the boring half of the 64. After this, we have the 157, which is just a slightly shorter version of the 75, and it's just missing out all the major stops in town that you probably get more passengers and points for. So therefore, the one above the 157 is the 75, because it's pretty much the same as the 157, but you get those essential town stops, which will get you more points. Next up, we are moving on to the routes that I don't think are bad, are just the routes that are decent, but routes that I wouldn't necessarily choose to drive. So starting off with this section, we have the 119. It's a decent route, but the part that goes to Shirley is pretty boring. That route, that road that goes down to Shirley, I've always found pretty boring. So any routes that go down there, just yeah, basically I don't really not too keen on. After the 119, we have the 60. It's a decent route, but I've always found it a bit boring just because you go up London Road, which is just a straight line through town, and then down to South Croydon, which is just another straight line. After this, we have the 250, another pretty much just straight line route down from town to down London Road and then up to Thornton Heath, just two straight lines pretty much. But it is pretty good in rush hour for grinding points. After this, we have the 367. This route never used to be really in my good books until its Shirley extension in Croydon redefined, which has bumped up its rating a lot for me, and it's a fairly enjoyable route for me now. After this is the 264. Now, I've always personally found this route very underrated, and also the area that it goes to is underrated as well. Now, as soon as it leaves the town centre, it goes down a road that no other main game route does, which that's what makes me think this route is so underrated because it goes down a whole area that no other route does. Next up, surprisingly, is the 403. Now, despite its length, it is actually a surprisingly good route as it goes down an area just like the 264 that no other main game route does. So yeah, fairly decent route despite its length. After this is the 468. To me, this is just a much better version of the 50, as if you were doing the 50, you just depart at the town centre, but with the 468, you follow the 50's route and then continue to South Croydon. And obviously, South Croydon is a nice area in my opinion, so it has bumped up its rating a lot. After this, we have the S4. In my opinion, this is the good half of the 455. So yeah, it goes through Beddington, Valley Park and Warden Marsh. It's those interesting areas that don't really tend to get a lot of attention, in my opinion. Next up, we have the TR2. This is probably the most forgotten tram replacement route, and it's fairly similar to the TR1. It just has one different stop. Speaking of which, next up on our list is the TR1. Pretty much the same as the TR2, except it goes down one different stop, but both of these are fairly solid tram replacement routes. Now, getting on to some of my favourite routes in the entire game now, we have the 455. It is a solid route, and it's got the perfect length for a route, in my opinion. It's got, not too long, not too short. Next up, we have the 312, another good route in terms of length and goes through some nice areas, nicer than the 455 in my opinion. But it does tend to stay around the town centre a lot more, which is surprising considering its length. Next up is the 289, which is the longest main game route, will take you just about half an hour to complete. Goes through some really nice areas, and that's all I have to say about that one really. Next up is the 466. I wasn't exactly keen on this route before, but since its simple extension up to Coombe Lane, I've really enjoyed doing this route, as the extension up to Coombe Lane is quite challenging for most vehicles, which makes these routes that go up there very interesting. Now, moving on to the top 5. At number 5, we have the 450. Now, if you ignore the hectic shifts, where you're constantly stuck in traffic jams for 15 minutes straight, this route is actually really good. It's got some challenging gameplay and really does test your driving skills because of the tight back roads that it makes you go down. At number 4, we have the 197. This is goes through a really nice area, and this route, which no other route has had its very own update, which I found really cool. And it also introduced a new area, which is one of my favourite areas in the map, actually. Okay, at number 3, we have the 198, purely because this is the best route for grinding points if you are a non-plus or pro player. I've talked about this in a different video. This is the video, which is actually the video I uploaded just before this one, so go check it out after this one. At number 2, we have the TR3. Now, this is the best route for grinding if you are a pro or plus player, but the TR1 and TR2 are also great for grinding points as well, as I mentioned in that other video as well, which you should check out. And finally, my number 1 favourite route in all of Croydon Bus Simulator is the 130. This goes through some really nice areas. It's quite a diverse route because it starts in some very built up areas like Thornton Heath, Norwood Junction, and ends up in some much nicer, slightly more natural areas, that being Coombe Lane and Shirley. So I think it's a really nice, diverse route. Obviously, it goes up the big hill at Coombe Lane, which I find really fun to drive up, especially if you're in a slow bus. It's really cool. Really good route. And yeah, ever since I never really used to like that route before Redefine because of how short it was, but now it's really, really long route actually. It's crazy how much it's grown in length since the update. So, that is my entire list of Croydon routes ranked from worst to best. I don't think I missed out any, but if I did, let me know in the comments and you can make fun of me. So let me know if you agreed with these picks. Let me know where you'd put these routes on your list if you made one. I'd love to see your guys' opinions. Uh, and just a quick announcement, this may be my last upload for a few months because I am about to start my GCSEs in a few weeks, which is fun. Um, so I'm looking forward to that totally. But that also means I may not be able to upload for a while. But I will try my best because I've still got a few weeks to go. So I'll try and squeeze one in that time period. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That would really help me out. I'm trying to reach 400 subscribers. Not by any time, just 400 subscribers. That'd be great. I'd love that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.